All right.
Okay, we are action. We're on. We are on. First one in the house, Bake the Snake. Followed closely by Dan and then Metarog. So,
Bake.
what's going on, guys? Metarog, real quick. Um, we're getting some feedback from somewhere. Testing. Oh, wow. Is that you, Dan?
Could be.
Okay. Well, now it's not doing it. So I don't know what's going on. But Metarog, real quick, do you want to introduce yourself on the off chance no one has ever heard of you?
Sure. Yeah, this is Metarog. Been doing YouTube for a little over 2 years now. I do the contest roundup on Thursdays, generally speaking, unless I'm out of town or some other situation arises. And I also am on the No Faces chat on Bub's Comics. And I also do Graders Notes on every other Thursday with Magnificent Crew, Mr. Miracle, Genome Presents, and Comic Hit 84.
Very cool. Very cool.
I've been a collector for about 45 years. I don't know. I guess I don't know. That's immaterial, I suppose, but it's true.
From what I've seen from your collection, it's pretty extensive. There's quite a lot. You could open a museum with some of the cool stuff that you have.
Well, I don't know about museum, but I figured this, right, that I responded to somebody's Instagram the other day, and they showed a Hulk 180. And I distinctly remember picking that up in the Miami International Airport in 1974.
Wow.
So at that point, I said, wow, I'm old. Period.
Yeah, that's a while ago in Miami. So that's like the whole, I guess that's more like an 80s Miami stereotype. But
yeah,
very cool. Anything new coming up on your channel at all?
Well, if you know my channel, there's very little new on it. Everything is fairly 20th century specific. So I do like to essentially analyze different aspects, either of the history, the marketing, the distribution, or the errors or varieties of comics, things of that nature. That's what my niche is. So I usually do one of those every Tuesday where I come with some kind of different approach to an older comic or an older series. And of course, there will be one this Tuesday as well. I told you I was old.
Awesome. Very cool. Definitely looking forward to that. Okay, Mr. Dpericy, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah. Dpericy of dpericyscomics.com. I'm Dpericy's Comics on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I do a weekly comics and beer. That's pretty much my bread and butter on Wednesdays, usually around 7, where I'm like, I'm drinking beer. And
that's a sweet glass, by the way.
Yeah. We can talk about it later. This is my glass of the week. Where I'm drinking beer and just talking about books. And then I do a comic book conversations where I'm taping what I pick up that morning on Wednesday morning. A confrontational comics segment, which is a joke.
Hilarious, by the way.
I hope people find it funny.
It is really funny.
I walk that line between obnoxious and funny. No one is more cognizant of that than me. And stuff I collect. I read a lot of modern books, Marvel and DC. I like Hulk and Thor a lot. I'm a big mark for Harley Quinn and Wonder Woman. Big fan of Justice League, Monstrous. I like indies. I like Planet of the Apes books. I'm particular about what I like and dislike. Just the way I roll, but I like a lot of stuff. So yeah, there's that.
I think you and I are the only ones that like Planet of the Apes comics. I haven't met a whole lot of people that are in the whole Planet of the Apes thing.
Well, I mean, I don't think a lot of people know about them to begin with. Like, Boom has done that run, and Alex Ross did the covers for a run of Planet of the Apes Cataclysm books, and I have the sketch covers graded behind me, behind some of the books, and they're beautiful.
Very cool.
I
Just
enjoyed
want
the
to,
original run.
yeah, yeah. Do you have any Planet of the Apes books there, Metarog?
Yeah, I have the original run from back in the mid '70s from Marvel.
Okay.
Yeah, I have those, and I enjoyed those quite a bit because I was a big fan of the original movie. Um,
Me too.
Set of movies, you know.
Not the current remakes.
Well, no, I think those are fine too. But I have a lot of nostalgia when I was a kid and I saw those movies, and at the time they were somewhat progressive in the messages and the politics that they were espousing. So I really enjoyed them.
Yeah, they are very good. Want to shout out the chat so far. We got JB, Discovery Bay in the house. Mark Knapp, 68. We already mentioned Bake the Snake, but he gets another one because he's Bake the Snake. I collect a lot so far. Lots of good folks in the chat.
I like that name. I collect a lot. I like that. That's cool.
He collects a lot.
Yeah.
I only assume he's got a big collection.
Probably a lot of us could say that about
Disco?
ourselves. We collect a lot.
Right? Is that what we're calling Discovery Bay now? Is Disco?
Disco,
nickname.
Yeah, everybody has like truncated names. Like I went from Metarog to just Meta to something like me. It's like pretty soon it's going to be M.
Disco Bay Comics. That's the new. That's
Disco
what we're calling
Bay
Discovery. Disco Bay Comics.
Tony got christened the Pennsylvania Yoda.
I did.
Cool.
I'm the new Pennsylvania Yoda.
Quite apt.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's a lot of fun. The only thing I can give people wise advice is don't drive to Philadelphia. Just take the train. Save yourself the headache. Just take the train.
Are you going to start talking without pronouns and determiners?
No, because I have to think about what I say now. So if I have to think about talking like Yoda, I would be talking pretty slow.
Cool.
Hey, Tony, did you read Justice League this week?
Yeah. Not this week, no. But I do know it's the last one for, what is it, Snyder?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's just the last issue of the Propora. Is that her name?
Yes.
It's the last issue in her arc, and it is a really, really strange ending.
I've heard all spectrums. Some people really love it, and then some people just like are really upset about it.
I didn't think it was very good, and it was weird. It's a non-ending, but
Yeah. Shout out to Tim the Comic Collector. I know he's pretty upset about the new Justice League book. So if anyone ever interacts with him on Instagram or Twitter or on YouTube, so mention it to him. Let him know that he's a fan deep down. But I know that Dan spends a lot at time at the comic book shop, so I'm going to give him the floor for just a hot second. What hot book did you pick up this week? One hot book. No $12 Shazams.
This was the 5th week, right?
For what?
For comics this week.
Oh yeah.
My stuff was mostly standard fare. I mean, Criminal, Monstrous. I mean, as far as hot, Conan.
I heard that new Thor book is hot. Everyone's liking that new Thor book.
I had read that it was like some kind of parody on the DC universe.
Yeah, they kill the DC universe in that book somehow.
Maybe I'm dumb, but I didn't get that.
There's Superman in it.
Okay. I mean, it was good, but
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people are saying really good things about this. I had problems with art. It kind of distracted me, but maybe I was impatient. Ice Cream Man was very good, and I love this action. This is a parody of DC.
Yeah.
And it was
Action
great.
One, right?
Maybe
Action
folks were
One.
getting this confused with Thor. That's what.
Yeah, maybe.
This was this whole book was a parody on Superman and Action Comics.
That's
So
fun.
Cool.
That's very fun.
And then the Justice League. I mean, these aren't hot books, but just my weekly reads. I actually bought this by accident. I meant to get X-Force, but
whoops.
So have you read this yet, Tony? I know you were
Wonder Woman 1960s.
Well, the 750.
750.
This is the JSC.
Oh yeah, the 750. It's around here somewhere. But yeah.
So, I mean, I actually, it's the end of the Cheetah arc plus lots of fluff.
And that's, I can't drop Wonder Woman because I'm a completionist. And that's
don't drop Wonder Woman. I think it's good, man. You talk smack on it, but I
no. There's times where I'm like, I'm very glad I have it in my pick, and then sometimes it's like, dude, why do I bother?
Sometimes it sucks. I hate this. I hate when Steve Trevor is ever in the book.
This was my first experience with G. Willow Wilson, and I was not impressed. But that's okay. Metarog, any cool books you pick up this week?
Not really. I mean, I picked up one which you're going to see on Tuesday. It's a magazine. Well, I guess I'll give a little bit of a preview here. It's a magazine, black and white, that Jack Kirby did all the writing and art inside, and it's fairly obscure. I doubt many people have heard of it, but it's just a fabulous rendition of, when Kirby, you give him free reign, and he sort of goes back to his roots, and he starts espousing a lot about what his upbringing was, and how that formed him, how that helped hone him into who he was. And I see a lot of that throughout his work in that magazine. So on Tuesday, I'm going to talk about it. Actually, it's two magazines, but the one is one I picked up because I don't pick up new comics. I haven't in maybe 15, 20 years.
Wow.
So because I've just, after Marvel gave the Image guys, free reign to redo their universe, at that point, Marvel died in my eyes almost. So, but doesn't mean that I haven't picked up things since then. But as far as a weekly pull list, I haven't had one since 2003, I think, something like that.
So that's an interesting thing. And what would it take to bring you back to having a subscription box and really paying attention to weekly releases? Is there something DC or Marvel could do?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, okay. Well, I don't want to get to this long.
Sure.
But in just to encapsulate it, I would really like the comics to be not so expensive and not so high quality paper that that you price so many people out of it, right?
Yeah, I can't agree more.
I hate $10 event books. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Well, I remember your rant about the variant covers and all that, and I agree totally about that.
Yeah. Why do we need 50 variants for one book?
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous, but that's beside the point. And I really would like, to me, right, like Legion of Superheroes. I think that they just came back. I think something like that has a lot of potential with the right writer, a competent artist. And just look at the stories that are so possible with a future that is open, that is unwritten, that you have almost carte blanche. You have so much creativity possibilities there. And yet it's been in hiatus for so many years because they don't know what to do with the property. And that's something that I think is more inherent in the industry as such, not just a certain title, but something like that would put me on a poll list. Absolutely.
Interesting. So have you been keeping up with like particular characters or teams at all? I know you haven't been necessarily reading the books, but you been catching up like on Superman, maybe watching the news and stuff.
Correct. In a tangential way. I mean, I'll pick up something here or there.
Sure.
Just to sort of, hey, it's in the dollar blocks a few months after it came out, that kind of thing. Like I picked up Marvel 1000, that one where it was just one page shots of history, things like that. That was in the dollar bin. I picked up a few of the, right after the Action 1000s, Detective 1000, 2, 3, whatever. So I kind of am like lurking, I guess, if there's an analogy to YouTube people. I'm kind of lurking into new comics. But
so you've still got your ear to the ground when it comes to
I still have my ear to the ground because I mean, even though I'm not crazy about every aspect, there are some good stories out there. I just have to dig much deeper than I did in the Bronze and Copper Age for them.
Can we talk about the Eternals for a bit?
Go for it, man.
Yeah.
So beautiful Eternals book. Have you read it? Have you read the series?
Yes.
What did you think of it, and what do you think of it as becoming a big hit movie?
Well, I don't know. I'm not so much into the. I don't know how to say it exactly. I don't know how things would translate well into a movie.
Heard that.
I'm not sure how something can be, really, screenplayed into a movie well, but the Eternals, way back when, Dan, that was like nobody really like paid attention to them,
True.
when they came out, right? Because it was sort of like outside the normal continuity. Essentially, Marvel just said, Kirby, here you go, do what you do, sell comics for us, and he created a sort of pseudo new gods at Marvel, right? I think some of the characters are actually quite good and interesting and have three-dimensional aspects to them. But if you've read Kirby's New Gods and Fourth World, I think that is superior to what the Eternals ended up being. And of course, it lasted, I think, 2 years or so, not even 2 years.
Yeah,
so that sort of told you that it just didn't work out too well.
20 issues or something. I think that book was definitely, obviously, it was Kirby. It looked very cool. The art was outstanding.
Oh yeah,
and but the story was all over the place. And they even did things like they made him put the Hulk into it.
Yep.
Issue 14, and he's like the Cosmic Hulk. He's like Robot Hulk.
He's a robot. Yep.
And it's just like it's not accessible. So they're really going to have to pull something like they did with Guardians of the Galaxy and reinvent this stuff to make it work. And there was the Neil Gaiman reboot in the 90s. He did it after 1602, and wow, it was not good.
I was gonna say if you were gonna say that's good, I was gonna say oh hold on a second.
Yeah, it's like the worst. It's the worst thing Gaiman has ever done. It's like and he doesn't write bad stuff. It's like he did not know what to do with the universe, the characters, etc. So people in the know are like, what are we in for here? So
I don't know. When they jumped the shark with the Cosmic Hulk thing, that was because at that point all you're trying to do is sell comics. You're no longer worried about what the coherent storyline is and what the subplots are leading to. At that point, you're like, okay, we need to sell this comic. What do we got to do? Let's put in Hulk. Let's put in Spider-Man. Let's put in Wolverine. The usual guys.
Let's kill somebody and then be done. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Someone will die.
And it's nothing. And it usually, at least in the Bronze and the Copper Age, that was a Band-Aid. It never stopped the bleeding.
But the imagery is very cool. I love Kirby, and I am pulling for it. But those of us who know about the story know it's like, what's going to happen?
Yeah, I want to real quick shift gears. Disney Plus. Do you guys have Disney Plus at all?
I had it for 2 weeks to watch The Mandalorian.
Nice. What about you, Mr. Metarog?
No, I am not much of a television watcher, I'm afraid. I prefer reading and watching YouTube.
Sure. I'm going to post a link here in the comments. So apparently they cast Owen Wilson in the Loki series.
Ooh.
They're keeping it pretty close to the chest on what role he's going to play. But interesting cast choice, Owen Wilson in the MCU, which is bizarre. And reading the next article here, it looks like in Black Panther 2, we will see our introduction into the X-Men somehow. There's somehow going to be an X-Men connection in Black Panther 2.
Well, Storm was originally from Africa. So
didn't they get married, Black Panther and Storm?
That was after when I was reading, after when I stopped reading.
So that was
happened.
Yeah. I could be wrong. I don't know. But I feel like I heard that somewhere. Somehow, some storyline they got married.
It sounds familiar. Yeah, that does. And it makes sense since they're both, African heroes, or they were both originally from that continent. That somewhere down the line they would meet. I don't know. I'm just hypothesizing that could be the segue to the X-Men. I don't know. That's a good one.
And Metarog is correct. Bullseye from Daredevil is going to be Penguin in the new Batman. So, was it Colin Farrell?
Colin Farrell?
Colin Farrell is Penguin now.
Wow.
In the Batman series, a young Oswald Cobblepot.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's cool. We got Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. We got Colin Farrell as Penguin. I can't remember who they cast as the Riddler. Apparently, there's going to be a whole bunch of bad guys in this Batman movie.
That might not be a good idea. That kind of dilutes sometimes the movie if you have that many villains. But we'll see.
I'm open to it. It all depends on how they do it. I'm open to it.
Okay.
So as long as they do it right, who cares? But you guys want to break into some books?
Yeah, one last thing on the TV tip.
No problem.
Tony, have you watched anything on the DCU app yet?
I've been subscribed to the DC app since it came out, so I've seen everything.
Oh, so you've been watching the Harley Quinn stuff?
Yes.
Isn't it awesome?
No.
You don't like it?
I don't like it.
You're the only person who doesn't like it. What?
I don't care for it. I don't care for Harley Quinn as a character. I don't understand everyone's obsession with her. I don't care for her stories. I don't buy any of her books. I don't care.
All right.
Care.
Next.
But
I mean, I enjoy her, Margot Robbie's portray of her in the Suicide Squad. That I feel, because I like bad Harley Quinn. I don't like this whole good Harley Quinn. I like bad guy Harley Quinn.
Okay.
Because now she's like, she toes the line a little bit. Even in the, the video game universe, she's not necessarily bad. She's in the Justice League now, for Christ's sake.
In the animated series, she's dropping F-bombs. She just joined the Legion of Doom.
Yeah, but it's too cartoonish for me.
Okay.
It doesn't. I don't know why it matters, but I don't know.
I don't know why it matters. We're splitting hairs here, Tony.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't really care for the character anyway. I don't like everywhere you go, everything's Harley Quinn or looks like Harley Quinn.
Sad face from me, but okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. But okay, so for tonight, whose birthday month is closest to today?
I'm in August.
You're in August?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess it's I'm December.
Okay, so I guess technically you'd be closest.
Yep.
Yeah.
So heads or tails, Mr. Dpericy?
Heads.
Heads. It is heads. Do you want to kick or receive, keeping in the spirit of the Super Bowl weekend?
I'll go second.
You'll go second? Okay, Mr. Metarog.
Yeah.
The floor is yours.
All right.
What books did you pick up?
You want me to show the whole thing or
Up to you? Up to you. This is
Oh,
totally
okay.
You got to present it however you want.
Well, I don't know if Dan wants me to just put them all out or he just wants some and then him go. I don't know. You let me know.
No, you show them all. Show them all.
Show them all. Oh, okay. All right. Show them all.
I understand what you're saying now. Now we're on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah. Trust me, I can sometimes be very, obscure, even in my explanations. Okay. So the first. Okay. So yeah. So let me explain. Right. Tony gave us. Thank you again, Tony, for this.
Hey, no problem.
A code for Newcadia, $15, and I believe that he asked us to buy whatever we wanted. Just keep it under $15. So I actually spent $14.86. All right. All right. So this is what I got, guys. First one I got is Marvel Spotlight, Captain America Remembered. Now, this is not a traditional comic. It's more of a tribute with text pieces and inlaid art. Because at this point, Civil War, Captain America was killed. And here we go. They talk to his creators and artists from the past, Romita, Kirby, or they don't talk to Kirby, but I mean, they have articles and so forth. Gene Colan and some of the writers, Englehart, Stan Lee, etc. And they sort of do a nice tribute to him, almost like if you were in a wake and you're singing the lauds of whoever passed away. So I didn't have this issue as part of the Civil War run, so I really was looking for it. So I got
very
it.
Cool.
All right, so that's number one. I did get quite a few books here, by the way. Okay, next one. I think Tim got this one as well during this challenge, and this is just hilarious. I mean, it is so funny. Kurt Schaffenberger actually does the art, the old Superman artist. And, Ambush Bug follows him into the future and all kinds of hilarity ensues. Just a great, and I did not have this. I'm a big Legion fan, and I have all of their appearances almost within a 30-year run, except this one. Although this is really the substitute Legion, I still consider them part of the same mythos. So that was a fabulous buy right there. I'm also, again, Legion guy, right? So Karate Kid, and I'm a huge fan of Karate Kid. In fact, all the martial arts heroes, I'm a big fan of, and in fact, there's one more coming down the pike here.
Another cool book.
Very cool. And this is actually like sort of like his series ended kind of abruptly because of the implosion. So this is like the sort of the segue between how he finishes on the 20th century and gets back to the 31st century. So really good story here, actually. I was fairly impressed with it. I'm trying to go fast here, guys. Sorry.
That's all right.
Take your time.
One. Okay, here's one that was missing in my Astonishing Tales run. Now I am finished with Astonishing Tales. I have all the issues now. Really good Dan Atkins art in here, by the way, with this Gog villain. And there's kind of a little part which is an homage to King Kong. He sort of has one foot in each of the World Trade Centers in there. Actually, surprisingly good comic. Not all of these Astonishing Tales were that good, but this one is actually a pretty good comic and a good Gil Kane cover here from the top-down perspective. Okay, as again, I'm going through, the martial arts heroes. I'm trying to get the glare.
That book is killer.
That's a sweet one, yeah.
Is it? Look at that. I love this one because look at the recoil on that on that kick from this, some reptilian menace of some sort. And again, I'm only missing 3 or 4 of these, and this is such a really good series. I mean, it's again self-contained. There's not a lot of crossover. It's sort of like the story of how he's trying to sort of figure out who he is and why he trained, and then he's going back into the world, and it's like a different world because it's years later. Really good series. I just got it because I like the martial arts stuff, but I'm really enjoying this series actually. I'm glad I picked that one up. All right, now, Lady Fantastic, last time, I think it was last week or whatever during her show, said, oh, he's going to come up with some weird stuff nobody's ever seen. Well, this is that kind of stuff. This
is sampler.
Yeah, DC sampler number 1. And this is what they sent to a lot. They sent some of these issues to the comic shops back in the early 80s so that you could actually look. Imagine that, guys. You could look. There's like full page spreads with the artist and the writer, and had little tidbits of each, not each series, but a lot of the newer series coming out. Here, Teen Titans, Superman, Firestorm, Night Force, things like that. And it had the original art. So you got George Perez in here. You got Garcia Lopez in here. You got Colin in here. Again, this is the first time that those series were actually out in the samplers.
That's awesome.
And next to last is this sampler number 2. Again, I'm a big promo guy. I love the promotional comics. I have a fairly sizable collection. And so here's the same thing, but I think this was like, I wasn't a year later, but it was like maybe half a year later, something like that. And again, the same thing, Atari Force, Vigilante, Teen Titans, Warlord, all the kind of previews. They're not full page previews like the other one. These are sometimes like half or quarter page, which was disappointing. But still, it's only 3 of these issues, and I have all 3 now. And
That's
then
cool.
this is the last one. I don't even know if I mentioned it. This was like the freebie. I don't know if you got one of these, Dan. You can put down for a freebie. So it's like it's a flip book, Jim Lee art in here. Not my thing, you know.
Damn
not my
it!
thing.
Where was my freebie?
Not my thing. But so that's what I got, guys.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Definitely some good ones in there too. I do like those samplers. That's really awesome. I never even heard of those. So I learned something new today. That's very cool. Okay, moment of truth. Dpericy's comics. Let's see what you got.
All right, I went for the one big book option.
Ooh.
This is Wonder Woman 146 from 1964. It's a Ross Andrew and Mike Esposito cover. You know, Ross Andrew, he defined the Silver Age of Wonder Woman, and well, you know, a Wonder Woman bondage cover. Silver Age, it's in good condition. Couldn't say no. And well, you know, I thought I had a dunk with this, but you definitely had some nice books, Meta. So.
Oh man, that is, man, you got that for less than $15.
I got this for $15. I paid 73 cents for shipping.
Yeah.
It's in good shape. The spine is ripped up. So
it's still a beautiful cover.
I love it. I love it. I love this. So
I love that yellow, you know, the yellow of that dragon beast back there. That's like really accentuates the foreground. Fabulous.
Yeah, and I mean, Ross Andrew is one of the most accessible comic book artists ever, I think. He helped. He redefined Wonder Woman for the Silver Age, and he did those great Spider-Man covers.
Yeah.
In the 70s, which is when I read Spider-Man, and yeah, I mean, I saw this and I was like, yeah. Silver Age Wonder Woman bondage. I was messaging Tony. I was like, yeah, I got this.
Well, but, you may still have it. I would probably vote for you. Let me tell you that right away.
He brought me back to earth. He was like, Meta is he's got some taste. So we'll see. So.
Very awesome covers. So okay, so let's I
love my book.
Either way, you love it.
There are no losers here today, by the way, Tony. True. It's just somebody goes on and gets another shot at the big prize. But man, I'm happy here. I'm like happy as a lark reading these things. So no problem. No matter what happens, no problem.
Good. So speaking of that, let's put her to a vote. So, who do you think bought the best books? Did Dpericy, you know, like he said, did he hit the home run with the classic Wonder Woman, or is it Metarog with his awesome DC samplers and his free one?
Yeah, that might have been minus points for that one.
So it's up to you guys, up to the folks in the comments. Who got it? We'll put Let me get my phone here. We'll put some time on the clock. Or a timer or whatever. That's what I'm looking for, a timer. We'll put 10 minutes on the clock. We'll count the votes. But Rob Wurst, all right. So
hey, Rob.
yeah, definitely shout out to Rob Wurst. He's putting out some really great content on Wednesday. The Not Near Mint. Awesome show. But I'm going to give this one to Dan. Dan got a vote. So it's +1 for Dan. I'm curious to see what Immortal Biggie Shack. How's he going to vote? Is he going to vote for Metarog or Dan? But okay, so we're tied at 1 apiece. So 1-1.
No, I think I collect a lot. Voted for Gotta Go Bondage Wonder.
Oh yeah, okay, I see it now. So it's 2-1, 2-1.
Yeah.
Dos.
Sorry. Yeah, gotta get in. I definitely don't want to miss anybody. So if I miss somebody, definitely let me know.
Yeah, I'm taking a look here. Don't
worry. Metarog, you want to show off yours one more time? Mr. Biggie Shack would like to take another peek.
Sure, Biggie, no problem. You know, this one, let's go quickly on this one, right? Jim Lee, flip book, you know, throw in. Yeah. This is a really cool read here, by the way. Civil War tribute issue. You got the DC Slamplers. I got number 2 with all the full page art. Well, this one has quarter page and half page. The coming series. This one has the full page spread. Wish they would have done more like this. Boy, this was good. Again, I'm big into the martial arts heroes. Kung Fu Fighter number 9 with that recoil cover missing in my run. Gil Kane goodness here with GOG and a sort of King Kong tribute, you know, kind of like homage in there. Karate Kid, last issue here, that before he goes back to the 31st century. And of course, just one of the funniest things I've ever read in my life. Here, Superman and the Legion of Substitute Heroes, but really it should be Superman and Ambush Bug, because that was the guy who who gave him all the problems in here.
That's funny. Dan, can you hold up your Wonder Woman book just 1 second? Let's see it.
Yeah.
It's a great. I can't believe the colors on that thing. They're definitely popping.
That's a gorgeous one. Yeah, that's a
I'm in love.
So 2-2. 2-2. That's a gorgeous cover. What year is that? What year did that come out?
64.
64.
I was born.
My dad wasn't even born yet.
I was close though.
I could be your dad, Tony, because
probably.
I was born that year.
Oh, okay.
Meta's up.
So it's 3-2 Metarog.
Oh, you're kidding me. Come on, guys.
Yeah. So Bake the Snake, how you gonna vote, bro? How you gonna vote? Bake the Snake's got a cool collection. Also, he's putting out a Bake the Snake mystery box. If you guys are interested in that, definitely check out some of his stuff too.
Yeah,
definitely get in there and buy those boxes for sure.
His bake boxes have been big hits. I've been seeing the unboxings all around.
Yeah. Bake box, definitely.
Big hits all around. Yeah.
So you just hold it right there. Maybe that's your secret to success. Just
trying to like influence the audience,
right? Now you just need like a Vanna White, to like show it off. Let's see, where are we at? So we voted for Metarog, so it's still 2-3. Nike Jam, how you gonna vote, bro? Nike Jam. So we got there's 2 votes still in the air yet.
Meadows Hall was more bang for the buck. Does that mean me? I guess I don't know.
Yeah. I counted that as you. I counted.
Oh yeah, I think you already counted that. Yeah.
So it's still 3-2. Y'all are winners for different reasons. That's true. That's true. It's tough to beat that Wonder Woman cover, but then again, those DC samplers, I'd love to eat my hands on some of those, just because of the historical. They're probably not worth a whole lot of cash, but just to have them would be cool.
They're not worth that, although they're not easy to find, and because I again, that's why I when I saw them there, they were I think the only 2 there. I was like, I snatched those quick because they were so short printed compared to comics that were regular on the rack. These were usually just on like the table there. They had like 10 of them, and you took them and then they're gone.
And somebody get JB back in here. Come on now.
Yeah, he's
Hey, somebody, yeah, let's
start
go,
calling
man.
your friends. Hey, get
All
in
right.
there, man.
Bake went with Piercy, with Dan.
Did he?
Yep.
Did I miss
Piercy,
it?
says right.
Oh, Piercy. Okay, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just coming in now. Okay, there's like a second. Okay, so we're tied again, 3-3.
Oh man, we need a tiebreaker vote. Come on, people.
Oh, it's a battle.
Come on, people.
It's a battle.
I think I'm going to count this one for Meta. He says, "Gotta love the kung fu with Meta." So 4-3.
Who said what?
Nike Jam says, "Gotta love the kung fu with Meta."
I think you already counted him.
Did I?
Didn't we count him?
Yeah, you already counted him for me. Yeah.
Oh, so it's still tied. Okay,
So it's still tied. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want any kind of shenanigan victory here. You know. Let's
Someone
do
message
it. Let's do it straight or nothing.
He's a tiebreaker.
Yeah, he's the tiebreaker. Okay, so we have 4 minutes left. So if it's still a tiebreaker, then I tell you what, I'm going to reach out to a mystery guest.
That's cool.
And have them come on. I have contingencies in place.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That is cool.
Right? I wish I could vote. I really do. I can't vote. I'm not even going to say both are great books. I love classic Wonder Woman books. I think Dan definitely hit a home run with a Wonder Woman book, but I like the selection that Metarog got. I couldn't do it.
I love Meta's Kung Fu books. Those are very cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so let me message someone just to have them on standby for just a second.
Yeah, it's tough, man. When I saw Dan's book, I was like, oh man, come on. For the price he got it, come on, man. That's a home run and a half. That's a grand slam. Forget about a home run. I know I shouldn't be touting my opponent's book, but man, I can't help it. It's cool, you know. I can't. It is, you know.
Where are they? Right here. And they're online at the same time, so that's cool.
Dead air.
Real quick, lightning round. What X-Men character are you excited to see in the MCU?
That's interesting.
I'm a big Storm fan. I will say that because of her origins. As a street urchin, begging in the streets and being used as a thief, kind of like being manipulated and then found, and then her potential comes out in more ways than one. So I really like the origins of that character. So that's what I would say.
I could see Storm.
Are we saying one we're going to see or one we'd like to see?
Both. When you would like to see them.
I'm looking forward to seeing the New Mutants characters, and let's see. Can I find it? Any character from the Grant Morrison new X-Men run would be fun to see, like Beak. And I'm into a lot of Japanese stuff. There's this Japanese character. She's a young girl, and she wears the armor of her ancestors. That would be really fun to see.
That would be cool. Yeah. One movie that I am excited to see is the Godzilla King Kong movie. I've always been a huge Godzilla fan, so I've really been enjoying these new Godzilla movies.
Are they doing that?
From what I understand.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah. It takes me back to those old Japanese and those rubber suits and those dioramas that they would stomp on. Man, good times.
Yeah. Did you guys check out the last Godzilla movie?
No.
No, I don't think I did either, come to think of it. Nope.
Okay, the The tiebreaker will be here in 5 minutes.
That's cool.
The tiebreaker will be here. He's driving 100 miles an hour.
Deep breaths.
Oh man.
And I'm excited to have this. So this is actually working out. So awesome. This is very cool. Okay, so that's it. So voting is over. We are officially at a tie.
Wow.
Officially at a tie. So let me copy my clipboard here.
Tony, what is XSplit?
XSplit is very similar to OBS. It's their competitor. In my opinion, it's a lot more user friendly. So that's when I do all those cool transitions and stuff. That's what I do. I just push buttons on my keyboard and then boom, I could see another camera. Very cool. I enjoy it. I recommend it to anybody who's doing live streams and really wants to make their videos pop. Definitely do XSplit. You could do OBS, but I'm gonna shout out XSplit.
I've been loving OBS.
I could never get it to work.
Well, I mean, I've been using it to record. It's really easy to bring up images and bringing up animations, etc. It's great for that. Yeah, next step for me is like how to live stream with it, which is a little bit more complicated. But. Yeah. I mean, I like StreamYard, but I also like to customize my shit. And I think $25 a month is a little greedy.
Yeah.
I think it would be a no brainer for people if it was 10 or 15, but $25, come on, y'all. But
I agree. I really have been enjoying StreamYard.
It's easy to use. It's great.
Super easy to use, and I only use the free one. I don't pay one, so I'm not cool enough like Rod or Perry where they just stream. They definitely probably need to at least upgrade. I think you can only stream like 20 hours for free. I think they hit 20 hours pretty quick because some of Perry's streams, they go for hours at a time.
Perry is online a lot.
Yeah. He is, but they both put out some good content. So let's use this time to, in fact, I think that's a good idea. Any YouTubers out there that we should be looking at? I'm going to go with you first, Dan.
I mean, Biggie Shaq's channel is great.
Biggie Shaq, for sure. He's in the chat too.
I like Gray Man's channel. He does a beer and vinyl thing. And how can you not mention Rob Worst's chat on Wednesdays, where I believe someone was christened the Pennsylvania Yoda Wednesday.
I will wear that title as proudly as I possibly can.
And Meta, I have not seen any of your streams, but I know you're mentioned everywhere.
Wow.
We segue over to you.
Okay,
yeah.
wow.
Yes, Mr. Metarog. Any other YouTubers out there that you want to give a couple of seconds of fame?
Well, God, that's so hard, Tony, because we have so many great people, and this depends on your niche, really, right? I think Comic Head 84 is fabulous. Every time he does a stream, or he does even a edited video, it's something of interest. It's something that's he brings a certain je ne sais quoi to his videos, which I just enjoy because he has such good perspective and honest reactions. I really enjoy anything he's done. I watch. You already said about Biggie, and he's known for those stream of life streams. He goes to Walmart and shopping, and he goes to mail stuff, and he goes to his comic book shop, all that stuff. And he's what can you say about Biggie? He's a kind of a force of nature here on YouTube.
He is. And I think that's how you made it, when you start to see the immortal Biggie Shaq show up in your chats. That's how you know, like, you're definitely trending in the right direction.
Right. JP Budget Collects is also a very good channel.
Yes. Silver Age Dave. I feel like he's not mentioned nearly enough.
Yep, I was going to mention him actually, okay, although perfect. He's kind of taking a step back because he's training for marathons and things like that. Jeez. But every time he does a live stream, usually it's like during the day.
Yeah, he's kind of during the day.
Yeah. But man, he's constantly working deals and he and I talk on the phone about once a week. So let me
He's
tell
got some cool stories about.
you.
He'll just pull out a book and be like, "Oh man, listen to the story about how I got this book." And I'm just
Yeah.
like, "That's amazing. That's amazing."
It is amazing. You know, like here, at least for me, I don't know about Dan and you, Tony, but it's very hard to find collections, things like that you can afford that have, you know, quality stuff for a reasonable price. They come to him. He doesn't even go out hunting. They walk through his front door.
I was listening to one of his streams and he was telling the story about this young gentleman who was trying to sell his books but changed his mind and then wanted to continue with the hobby and then changed his mind a second time and definitely wanted to sell. And while he's telling the story, Silver Age Dave is flipping through these books and he said same thing. They just walk through the front door.
Yeah.
Buy my collection.
And he tells me like, oh, I have to turn people away. And I'm like, hey, hold on a second. throw some bones over here. You know?
Yeah, right? Help us out.
Also, sorry to interrupt. Also got to mention.
No, go ahead.
John's Comics with Kids, the Comics Triple Threat.
Yes.
Barry, Rod, and Jabroni, who I just met 2 weeks ago in San Antonio. Had a hell of a time. We hung out 2 nights. And you got to mention Dylan, too. Dylan was fun.
Yeah, Dylan. I just had him on my show. That's fun. But yeah, you got to mention the Triple Threat. Those guys are on fire right now. They just had a big get-together in Tampa.
Yeah, meetup. Yeah,
big meetup. That'd be cool.
Big meetup. Yeah, they're cool guys. I mean, they're, you know, well, not 2 of them are Floridians, and they have Jabroni from San Antonio. But you know, really cool guys over there.
So what they call that, RodCon?
I don't know. That's a good one, RodCon. I don't know. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Get their VIP badges and everything. RodCon.
Yeah.
But next week, I'm going to take this while we've got some time waiting for our mystery tiebreaker. Next week we have, not next week, the following week we have Discovery Bay versus another mystery guest.
Yeah, come on, Tony, give it up. Give it up,
man. This person decided, you know, the agreement was they were going to come on, but they wanted to keep their appearance as a mystery guest until the final moment. But looking forward to it. It's going to be on fire. The next round is going to be on fire. Awesome. Okay, here we go. Here comes our mystery guest for our tiebreaker.
What's going on, gentlemen?
We were just talking about you.
Oh man. Hey man.
How y'all doing?
Good. Hey, so real quick, just to keep you in the loop, they both were given $15 gift cards to newcadia.com.
Okay.
And they could spend it all like Mr. Dpericy did on one book.
Okay.
Or what Metarog did is he bought a whole bunch of books. So, and right now we left the audience decide who bought the best books. And we ended in a tie.
Oh, man.
So you're here to break the tie.
Oh, pressure.
So now that we are in overtime, and I have my coin again. So Mr. Dpericy, is it heads or tails?
I'll go ahead, Jim.
It is tails. Metarog, would you like to kick or receive? Go first or second?
Let's let Dan go first this time. I'll be a gentleman. Okay,
so Mr. Dpericy, you are on the clock.
All right, I got to do my whole spiel again.
Yep.
It's Wonder Woman 146 from 1964. A Ross Andrew cover with pencils from Ross Andrew, inks from Mike Esposito. It's in good condition. It's Wonder Woman bondage. It's Silver Age, baby.
It's very vibrant colors too. That's the part that I love.
Yeah, I love it. Ross Andrew was a pivotal artist of the Silver and Bronze Ages. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Come on now. Wonder Woman 146, Silver Age.
That's a hot book. It's a very
Yeah,
hot
man,
book.
that's a great one. That's
Okay, Mr. Metarog, sir,
all right.
you'd
all
be
right,
so
Matt.
kind.
Yeah, sure. Hold on, let me put this back in the order I had it. Okay. All right. So I got this one here first, Matt. This is a kind of a tribute issue with text pieces and inlaid art based upon the history of Captain America. Because obviously he was killed in Civil War, so he
Right.
sort of remembered a lot of his adventures. You have sort of interviews with his creators, Gene Colan, there's Stan Lee, Kirby, little pieces like that in there, and then at the end, sort of you have a little memorial for him. So I thought this was just a beautiful issue to have. Not a comic per se, more of text pieces with inlaid art, but something that as a Captain America fan, I really wanted.
Okay.
I am a big, this, right? I'm a big martial arts fans when it comes to comics, and I want to complete my all the different series, but this one in particular, Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter, and this was one I was missing, and I love the recoiling. That is Richard Dragon in the red gi there, recoiling there on top of an ancient cannon. These are the kind of really odd and quirky things that Bronze Age have, which I just love, So
Love it.
that was a pretty good read. And then here is the last issue I needed to finish my Astonishing Tales run, Astonishing Tales 18, with this Gog character or monster, Gil Kane cover, and whatchamacallit, inside is kind of a homage to a King Kong on top of the World Trade Center. Kind of cool issue.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool little issue there. This is again, Karate Kid. I want to collect all the Legion appearances in this time frame, and this is one I was missing. And this is sort of a segue between the end of his series, which ended with issue 15 because of the implosion, and his then transition to the 30th century. That was done in this issue here, Brave and the Bold.
Nice.
And then I also got one of the funniest issues I have ever read in my life.
Oh, wow.
Here, where Superman goes into the future and Ambush Bug tags along surreptitiously and just brings all kinds of trouble with him. And the hilarity in this issue, it will have you on the floor. It is just amazingly funny.
And that's not all.
And then we have
there's more.
then we have the samplers. These were issues that were given out at LCS, so people knew in the coming months what different series were coming out and including full page spreads here with the artists and the writers, so the people had a little sample of what was to come in the coming months. That's number one. And I also got number two. I'm a big promotional comic guy, so you need to have these if you're promotional comics, because these are very interesting marketing and historical pieces, I thought, back in the early 80s. Same thing here, but not quite full page, like half page ads. And then the throw-in, Jim Lee, Prophet, flip book. That was a throw-in.
That's cool.
And that's it.
So that's what we got.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
how are you feeling? So let me go. If you could just talk your way through it, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, man. So
what do you like? What do you don't like?
My first thought is what would I collect? Because I'm thinking, okay, we got this beautiful Wonder Woman single book against a whole bunch of fillers for Roger, and he's trying to complete that collection. So he took that $15 and did something really, really smart with it, right? He was able to find some things that he liked. But as somebody that likes to collect, I like to collect beautiful things. And I totally see the lure of the one Wonder Woman book, how beautiful that is, and spending your money on that. So, oh man, this is a good one. This is a good one.
Yeah, this one's tough. What happened in the last round, if you haven't checked it out yet, Lady Fantastic won with only one book, and I thought that was there's no way you could pull that off. So obviously we know you can do it.
Yeah. Do I have any parameters, anything specifically you want me looking at? Is it just my opinion completely?
Matt's trying to find any out he can get.
Nope. Whatever your heart tells you is the coolest book.
Okay,
Or-
this is what I'm gonna do.
Sure.
If you were to give me $15 and put Roger Stack and I don't know your brother, Dpericy, is that how I say it right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you guys have never met. Okay.
We haven't met before.
Well, we've liked each other's
Videos and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your first name, or how do you want me to call you, man?
Dan.
Matt. Good to meet you, man.
Hey, yeah.
So you got Dan's one book and Roger's a stack of books. And someone said, okay, you get $15, choose one. I'm going with Dan's book, man.
Oh, there it is.
I'm going with Dan's book.
Yeah.
And we have our winner.
I love you, Roger. I'm sorry, man.
No, man, no. Listen. If I was in your position, I probably would have said the same thing.
Roger, Tony was telling me you are going to have a hard time with this. So
I really would. I mean, I think 10 times out of 10, I'd pick the Wonder Woman book over the other lot, man.
And what is it about the Wonder Woman book that it attracts
gorgeous.
you as a collector?
The colors pop. It's an early Wonder Woman book. She's in bondage, which is something that people want,
Oh,
I mean,
look, I do.
If I wanted those in my collection, I would definitely take that Wonder Woman book, man.
Yeah, now for the next round, Dan's going to buy the exact same book again.
Or the issue before or after it,
Yeah, there you go. That's cool. Awesome.
Honestly, I can't believe it, but Tony was telling me, he was like, "You're gonna have a hard time beating Metarog."
It's tough to beat Metarog. He's a legend in the community.
Sorry,
And Meta, man, those kung fu books were badass.
They were legit. I don't know how I would have voted for sure.
But
I don't know if I could have.
Let me just tell you, this is the way I took this challenge, and I think Dan did it the same way, right? I'm not going to start to buy something that is not me, just for winning this challenge, right? I don't think that that's sort of you're being disingenuous with yourself if you're doing it that way, right? Dan obviously loves that comic. He knows about it. He knows the historical significance of Ross Andru and how important he was to Silver Age Wonder Woman. And I went with the stuff that, to me, it really tickles my fancy. Yeah. I like the obscure stuff. I like completing runs. I like stuff that I haven't read before that I know is gonna either make me laugh or make me cringe, but it's gonna elicit a reaction from me. And so I went with the stuff that I like. So and I told this Matt before, there are no losers here because I now have a stack of books that I've read.
You're right.
I have been so. Let me tell you, it's one of those things where I get this, and when Tony asked me to come on here, I was like, "Is that it? So I just got to buy comics? That's it?
That's
I was
it.
like, and show up. I was like, there's no losing here,
That's it.
So I'm happy. I'm happy for Dan because I think that he has a really good eye for comics, and whoever's going to take you on next time, I better bring their A game.
Awesome.
I don't know. I hope I didn't shoot my load. I mean, this is like
yeah. So whoever wins in the next round between Discovery Bay and the mystery guest is who you take on the next round. But that was a lot of fun. But this is something I want to continue to do. So after we find a champion, there's more to this story that's going on. So when we have our champion, then there's contenders for that champion.
Cool. Roger, I can't believe it, man. I mean, silly, but I'm honored to have competed, man.
Likewise, very much so. Likewise.
Roger's not going to talk to me anymore, man.
Yeah,
Matt,
that's it. Friendship's over.
Please, Matt, come on.
No,
if you would have, and I'm glad you got Matt because I know that he's going to do it impartially. Even though he and I are friends, he and I both know that has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, and that's
the way, and that's why I love him because if it wasn't that way, I would go over there and kick his butt.
And that's why I reached out to him. Matt, being in your chat, checking out your content, I feel as though you could have provided that impartial judgment.
Thank you, man.
I mean, we all could have, but your opinion counts. You could definitely have a lot of respect in the community, but.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on tonight. Dpericy for the win, everybody. Moving on to the next round.
Great.
Hey, Dan, make sure you get me that $50 when we're done.
Yeah. Do you want that? Via
That was the
Venmo
most
in the
expensive
cash.
$15 you ever spent.
But now that you're on here, Matt, real quick,
sure.
is there anything coming up on your channel? Anything we need to want to shout out real quick?
You know what, man? I will be doing Comic Gories either this coming Friday or the next, so just stay tuned for that. But other than that, man, I took a little bit of a break, and I'm having a tough time jumping back in. So this was nice that you invited me, and I got something new. I haven't had the feeling to get on here and record videos and do stuff, you know. So
yeah, Comic Gories is a lot of fun. That's something I have a lot of fun watching. But you know, I was thinking, you know, what would I do if I was in that situation? And the way my comics are organized, I would struggle in that room. I definitely would.
We're gonna do a category where we tell people get just one short box of your best stuff. And
see, that's cool.
You can pull from.
That's a cool rule. I like that.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Does it matter if it's slabbed or not?
Either way.
Awesome.
Better not.
That's a cool game. And who won last time? Was it Rob Wurst?
Rob's one, Bubs is one, Comic Kid 84 is one, and then John and I played each other for the beginning of season 2, and I took that one. So at the end of this season, someone's gonna have to play John and I, kind of like Mortal Kombat. You know, it's gonna be fun.
And what were some of the prizes that the champion won? Or is there a prize, or is it just bragging rights?
You know what? During the regular season, it's just bragging rights.
Gotcha. Okay.
During Halloween, it was a 9.8 slab book.
Yeah, that's okay. I remember that now. I was gonna say I thought there was a book in there, but I didn't want to be wrong.
And nobody knows this, but we're developing a buy-in where people actually pay to compete, and at the end of the day, they're gonna win a big book.
That's cool.
We're gonna see how it works out, man. But I've got some 9.8 slabs that are worth about $500, and we're gonna try to make it so they can win something like that to see who's interested, see how it works out. But it's in the beginning. We're just figuring it out now. So
that's very cool. That definitely sounds like some cool content that I would definitely try to make the effort and watch live. That's a very interesting way to do it.
Thanks, man.
Very cool. Pay to play. I like it.
Pay to play.
Awesome. But okay, so we have our winner. Dpericy wins, moves on to the next round, and a shot at the title.
Cool.
Nice.
Nice reference. Dan's a big wrestling guy, so I try to throw in some wrestling references if I can. Anything cool in the wrestling world, Dan?
Asuka just lost her title bid at the Royal Rumble last weekend, but folks who like Becky Lynch are pleased. Io Shirai got injured from NXT. Those are my updates.
Cool. Very cool. I remember, like 90s, early 2000s wrestling, so it's a lot of fun to see how things have evolved. But okay, anybody got anything else here at all? Metarog, thanks for playing, buddy.
Thank you for having me on.
Hey.
It was a blast. I loved doing that. Yeah, man. It was great. It was great to meet you, Dan. Great to meet you.
I just was happy that I found two great players like Metarog and Dan to participate. It was definitely a lot of fun. But yeah, there are no losers here. Metarog, I feel like you got some awesome books, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You don't know how tough it can be finding these little ones that they're not expensive books, but you can't find them locally.
I didn't know those samplers even existed, so now I'm gonna go. I really want to check them out.
Oh, there's lots more than that. There's Focus there, and of course the Marvel did something similar called the Requirer. So there's all kinds of this stuff, which is just great stuff. First Danny Ketch, I think, is in a Requirer, a little blurb in the corner. So it's amazing stuff historically and marketing wise.
Very cool. Yeah, definitely worth a check out for me. But okay, awesome. We'll end it here. Our hats off to our special guest, Matt, the boy who had 7, for breaking the tie. Really appreciate it, sir. For jumping on last minute. Definitely want to thank everyone in the chat for voting. Again, Dan for the win. Pretty cool.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, but Metarog, also thank you for
Sure,
playing.
man. Anytime.
Keep in mind the grand prize is something awesome.
Cool.
Fortunately, it's not a book, but it's still pretty cool. Looking forward to giving the winner the thing.
Awesome.
A lot of fun. But okay, thanks, guys. I'm going to end the broadcast.